actually think Rafa told us to expect a Kiana jungle to come out
Tian's
this
been
series.
good at it. Yeah, he played it once. Tian was very good at it in his game, so Up going to take that away. I do think that Jungle Kiana does have some real pros as well, as the true strongest jungler Up in the Wukong taken off the board. We'll see if Junhao wants to go for that point-and-click lockdown in the Vi. With a lot of junglers off the board now, sometimes taking that cease and assist into Game 3 could actually just be a decent start. As at least you know you have a go button to attack the backline early on.
I wonder if Weibo might try and start flexing this Aurora around. Because one, Xiaohu plays a pretty...
Ooh, on the other hand...
I'll just see myself.
I mean, Ultra Prime, they liked it so much, they took it for themselves on the blue side. But you know what? The oopsie of that, Slayer, was that they did leave up the marksman that we have yet to see today. The one that Light has actually yet to play this split. And the hover for Weibo right now, it's going to be that Yunara.
Also known as latest stat check champion. That is what Yunara is, which I've seen some interesting conversations about, because some people are glad that Yunara is a simple AD coming out in a world of complicated ADs of late. You know, decently complex kits.
I like her. I do. I think she's actually well designed. Her R has a very clear power window.
Yes.
It is what it is. She needs some help. If you play within her range, she's strong.
Does.
I think if anything, maybe... I think she does have a lot of access to range in her kit for what her kit does. I think that... But that is like... If you take away 25 range, that's a lot of power away from an AD. We'll have to see where she falls and how they change up her numbers. I definitely agree she's strong right now. But I think kit-wise, good champ to have in the game. That said, that Vi that was being teased by Weibo, not going to be locked in. I think they know it's going to be the pick now for Junhao. Given they have a Yunara showing, definitely want a way to point and click and lock down that back line. So the Vi will be the answer for Up, and yeah, that Kai'Sa for Baiye. Quick to follow.
All right. This is a very bold Yunara pick. You were inviting this kind of response.
This is where you Renekton and just go from here.
I'm trying to think of what Crisp can go to protect. Do you just take Braum here to maybe give Yunara some space? Rakan with a charm, you know, these knockups, being able to slip in and out.
Nautilus is fine if you want to grab it here too, because you get bans to protect it, which is what they're thinking with this Rakan probably. So
I just think peel first is the best idea, because no matter what the rest of this comp looks like, whenever you pick Yunara, you are banking on Yunara getting the 3 items and obliterating the game. That's what Yunara is right now.
Well, with Rakan showing and no support for Up, I assume more support bans will be coming from Weibo, and with a jungler showing and no jungler showing for Weibo, I expect more jungle bans from Up, as that Nocturne ban was a smart one. Nautilus Leona taken away, 2 of the better matchups against Rel gone, and 2 of the better pairings for Kai'Sa too also gone. I think that's a big deal. Do we see a sneaky Blitzcrank here? It is actually a real question to ask here for Up. Not good against Yunara, but definitely something that Kai'Sa could use to at least get that passive proc from a teammate out. As another jungle ban to follow here. Maybe a Skarner taken away, going to be Tian's Lee Sin, given the rise is showing.
I don't think you can pick Skarner in this game. I don't think Skarner gets enough value. Oh, if Tian just wants to go full carry pants today, that would be fun. But let's see.
I think both are real options. That's
yes.
Technically a flex pick. This is a scary one. They're going to Breathe the counter pick. But you can take some point-and-click CC here to really mess with the Zed if you are on the end of Up. I am once again asking for Renekton stonks, as Renekton stonks have been going up this game.
Let's see if you get on a roll predicting some of these picks, because I do think this Blitzcrank gets locked in.
It's really I think one of the only options.
Oh, or
in
Jean
terms of
steals
trying
the
to get
Renekton
CC.
away. All right,
as
breathe.
Again, point and click for the Zed. That the W is good. Renekton's a decent blind. I think you are going to get Cassanta'd, but it's okay. At least you can win some early game.
Maokai with Kai'Sa.
This against Rakan, I like a lot, actually. I would like this a lot from XiaoXia.
Okay.
It's not good in lane. It's weak, but you have Nature's Grasp. You get guaranteed knockdown for Zed. And into Rakan, you can cancel the Grand Entrance with your Bramble Smash if it's timed well. You can also time your Twisted Advance well to try and get out of a Grand Entrance if it's like casted towards a minion. Or just to dodge out on the damage yourself. It's a bit of a timing battle against the Rakan. We'll see if XiaoXia can outplay it. As that Casante's walked in to round things out. And Slayer, what do you got?
I wish this was Yorick.
It's bad against Croc, but yeah, I can see it for the game. Yeah.
Yeah, because at this point you're staring down all of these, direct counters to fights for Weibo. You're staring down Kaisa, Vi, Aurora. Like they all want to fight. They all want to look for picks. They all want to group up. You have a Ryze. You have a Yorick. If you can get grubs and you can play for side lane threat, not only does that take away a lot of this, blow up responsibility for Ultra Prime, it gives Tian more space, because if you can lean into picks off this Zed instead of team fighting Zed, it can really shut down Ultra Prime's comp. They're gonna get the Cassante. You can't hate that pick, but definitely a lot more power to Ultra Prime than I think we've seen all series long.
I think that if you're going to pick Zed, you should probably save it for his latest draft as possible. The fact they did not, a Renekton and Maokai to respond, it's a lot more CC in the game that Zed has to be concerned about. I would have rather just taken Renekton there and eaten the bad top lane matchup to see if I can get a better Zed game, or even like a better Kha'Zix game, as that was Tian's other hover, and Assassin's definitely good pairings with Ryze. But instead, they do get the Breathe Cassante going into that Renekton, so we'll see if he can slingshot his way back into this game and survive that early game matchup.
We'll see if we only have one final game on our hands here. Game 3, Weibo Ultra Prime. Okay, couple of scattered Weibo Gyos as they've been all series long.
I mean, for Up, it's your last chance to rip him as Up. This could be it. The last Gyos of the year.
And we at least, we can't confirm if we didn't get any, because we're not there, but we didn't hear them. What I do want to present as a fun situation here for this game is, as much as we talked about how lopsided it is, Weibo favored, it's Ultra Prime. I'm glad that we've gotten a draft where we feel like Weibo does have a tougher time in some of their lanes, because, again, Weibo should sweep. Weibo, if they want to be a playoff contender, should sweep convincingly. So now that we're not just saying, oh, they've draft gapped, Cubby, they should be able to win as a team and overcome some of these draft shortcomings.
Yeah, I think the solo lanes for Ultra Prime definitely going to have some priority early, so we'll see if Saber can do anything with that, or if Junhao can take any camps away. Probably not going to be the case. As, okay, we got Tian's first career Zed game. Definitely going to want a full clear early on. The one winning lane for Weibo is going to be this bot lane early, as the Maokai into Rakan pick definitely, It's not great for the lane phase. That's your best case scenario, is you dodge out on the Quill and try and land your Bramble Smash, and that's not easy to do. So Ultra Prime going to be eating it down here, but again, solo lane should be okay, and that's why Junhao going to path his way towards those two solo laners, see if he can get anything done.
So wacky to talk about a winning lane being Yunara, because she is not. She does have her thread that I think some people let fly under the radar, that once she stacks that Q, she can actually trade really effectively. But it's just another champion that, for the most part, you're looking to buy time on. So the fact that the Yunara lane can play pretty comfortably might going to be another spot where he might just be pretty quiet in the early and mid game, because he's making all the right choices, understanding the win con of his champion.
Yeah.
We will have to see.
I mean, this champ does scale hard, but you also get a pretty easy lane phase, especially if you go for the pull tech on Yunara. It gives you so much health back in lane, and you get to be Yunara and scale. As we do have Tian using some of the power of Zed to actually get that full clear off and base early Slayer. So we'll be back out on the map with a bye and a likely uncontested bot crab take.
Yep.
So he'll return to the rest of his camps, and of course Junhao would go from bot to top. So with that early base from Tian, we'll be able to get back in time and should be able to secure that crab.
Such a weird game state for Tian to play out, because Ryze
clears so fast, he resets, you know?
OP. Yeah, but that is the OP part. But looking at the wave states, right? Breeze getting shoved in, like Ryze is going to need a lot of time. And if you're playing Zed jungle mid, you want to look for kills and play towards your assassin nature constantly. So I like to see that Tian is at least giving looks towards this bot side with his quicker timer. And I want to see Tian, quick. Once he gets his ultimate, like, throw this thing down, try and pick up kills, and get the ball rolling, because that's the only way Zed can function in a spot like this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. As
an advance, it actually sends XiaoXia way further up than he actually wanted to. Leave the tempo stacked here for Light as well, and Junhao going to draw himself the cover. No kill threat, though. Just some summoner heals traded per usual.
I do like the point about Zed, of course, getting snowballed, whether that's through camps or kills. Always good in the assassin jungle. Zed only as good as his items can take him pretty much. I mean, you're not picking Zed for the utility, right? You're taking Zed for the damage we can do in these fights. So, see if Tian's up to the task with that one. As we do have Saber TPing back, but that wave is going to be too big to hold. So, Xiaohu should be able to get his second base in and be A-okay.
Wonder if this is a spot for a swap to come out here for Weibo. If they want to get K'Sante out of this Renekton matchup, I wouldn't hate sending your bottom lane top side. Breathe does have teleport if he wants.
If they keep the 2v2, I think they get Drake. And that's the choice right now, because Tian's actually skipping over those Krugs. Yeah, I think you just get Drake off the bot prio. So
okay.
Light with the base and the TP does go for the Cole and the recurve, or the dagger, I should say. So this tech, LS has talked about it a lot, but just given how Yunara's Q works, it applies on-hit effects with the Cole passive. For every creep you hit, you get 3 health back. It's actually more effective for you to go for the dagger and the Cole than it is to stack up other items. It's really good on Yunara, especially just given that she's a champ that wants to scale too. So Light's in a nice spot, going to be a happy camper for sure in this game.
It's been very well put in all of his lane phases so far in this game, and been able to be effective, whether that be facilitating on the Jhin later on in the series or scaling up into a monster on that Sivir. The latter, what he's going to want to do so here in this final game if Weibo can find the victory. Got the dragon up on that bot side, but Tian that's again so looking to go for this bottom lane is, like you called out, Baiye pretty far up here. Gonna pop the ghost first. He's gonna get around the Red Engine's knocking pretty well, actually. Light takes a ton of damage. The healing, though, comes across. And Tian's gonna look to dash around top of Baiye. Good flash. The Shuriken's not gonna hit either. That's both summoners out of Baiye for his missed position.
Yeah, I mean, Chris put that poorly, and it still is a win for Weibo, as Baiye was way too far up. And we'll see. Decent for John.
Into the pushback, into the turret, the drag of the all-out. Love that combo coming across from Breathe. Now Junhao's getting evaded on his own jungle. Realm Warp forward. Flash out of Junhao. Weibo, despite how slow progressing their comp is, still able to find windows to punish Ultra Prime.
Yeah, this is feeling like a 3-0. Which, I mean, we did kind of expect coming into the day, Slayer, but maybe not to the dominance that Weibo has been able to show. I still don't think like it's been anything, though, that convinces us that Weibo is going to go further than what we have right now, Slayer. I don't think that Weibo's had to do anything too special to actually win out of this series. It just felt like a pretty abysmal Game 1 draft from Ultra Prime. Then Game 2, they didn't snowball it that hard. In this game, we don't have any blood going over, but definitely feels like Weibo have found some early wins on the map with their movements.
I would tend to agree. I think Game 1 had its inspiring performances from Xiaohu on the Talia. Chris had a really good game. But those two in particular were kind of the reasons why Ultra Prime were able to control Game 2 as long as they were, right? And Xiaohu goes down 4 deaths very quickly, routinely sectioned off. Crisp as well, and the Alistair routinely punished. So it does kind of feel like you've seen the good and the bad from Weibo, even if they are likely going to come out here with a 3-0 or, you know, in reality, up 2-0 at this point. Tian, though, on the grubs.
We'll say, I mean, this is one. I don't think you want the fight. I think Tian's just going to try and steal or take what he can. If he gets 2 and he gets out, it's a heist for sure. But Zed smites are OP. Yeah.
This smite isn't up just yet. It's a couple seconds away. So Junhao finds a nice little timing to fly.
Yeah, they don't want to fight. Yeah, you definitely don't want to fight right now if you're Weibo, so it's going to be a give. Do want to pause real quick. We do have Light. Looks like with that Thunder, he's going to be rushing the Experimental Hexblade, which did see some very significant buffs on this patch. I think
Good
in
shout.
particular for Yuntals, the move speed when you pop your ultimate, which really helps you get that, you know, transcendent state, keep that going as the Yunara to cash that in. I think that's the idea behind it. Usually you don't see this item first, but it is going to be rushed here by the looks of things by Light.
Just like, I like how much AD carry built in evolved the next play. Hold on though, top laners throwing down ultimates because junglers are also here as well. Tian trying to send a little bit of space between him and his jungle opponent.
Another
Flash forward comes
TP.
across from Breathe. There is the living death mark on top of Zhang. He says Dominus is going to pop. They don't get enough damage out of the Zed. It's okay though because Weibo's first here to the other play. All of a sudden it's 4v2 just like that. And well, their numbers are stronger than Ultra Prime's, and that's why they're 2-0 up in kills.
Yep, they get both. Sit down, Croc. You're now behind in this matchup as Breathe is going to pick up that kill with some help by Tian, who played out that skirmish on the Zed very nicely. Really like when you're able to drop the shadows and get poked down. Zed's so cooldown reliant when he goes for this ability haste-based build. Really relies on your Q2s, or the second Qs come down when your shadows are down. And yeah, this was not a very close fight or skirmish here, Slayer. As Breathe plays out a very good trade on Cassante. Already had the flash out of Zhang. And then this trade in the Junhao again, he's up a level, but they don't want to pull the trigger on that Vi ult because Breathe was still sitting on that W, so the damage stopped and unstoppable. And by not pulling the trigger and kind of splitting their targets, it just kind of allowed for Tian to have a beautiful fight. As the Zed got down so much ambient damage throughout, any angle for Ultra Prime to win that was just kind of taken away by Tian having two really effective shadow usages with Poke. Kind of shut down any hope for up there.
It's good to see, well, Crisp also set up that second pick play, but duality of Crisp right here. You think he gets picked off, but he's actually making it really hard for Ultra Prime to finally get that kill over to him. The problem is he served up the Vi right up in front of Light,
Yeah.
so the Yunara goes down as well.
It kind of helped enable Baiye to get a better killer instinct into the backline to actually get onto Light, too. So I think that's very fair, Slayer, and trying to create some space. Chris made a bit of an oopsie there. Gave Baiye a pretty good find into the backline.
We've got Caster Cursing is evolving, Cubby. I didn't even say the point I wanted to make to praise Crisp. I just thought it, and he and he ruined it before I could even say
We're
the whole
getting
point.
1984 on broadcast?
On broadcast. They're in my head.
Oh, boy. Well, I don't like that. But
Or
I guess
it's
happy.
either 1984 or I'm getting Truman showed. I don't know. Should I start looking for cameras? What could be a
Maybe.
camera in today's world? I don't know. That's what scares me the most.
I mean, maybe it's a Labor Day thing, you know? I can't believe that Kelsey Moser has us working on Labor Day, Slayer. What is she trying to say about her work ethic for the split by this?
Wait, it's time and a half though, right? Or what are we saying?
Yeah. we get time and a half from the coffee subscribers, man. It's base.
Shout out our coffee supporters. We adore you.
Thanks for the time and a half today, guys. Appreciate it. Definitely don't support the coffee anymore today, because we definitely don't need your support more today than usual with the time and a half that we always get on holidays, as is tradition.
You know what's funny is not to ruin the parade with the legalities, but pretty certain that time and a half holidays do not apply to freelance anything in the world.
Don't worry about it. China does not celebrate Labor Day. Well,
hey
in
guys,
America,
can you tell-
Adam, in America, we don't spell labor with
Yeah,
a U,
I was about to
all
say.
right?
I was going to say, can you tell a non-American
the
to spell
right
Labor
to
Day?
leave you out of words when we kicked Britain's ass in 1776 and on, all right? Screw the U.
Unless you're Notre Dame, then you can't do that. I thought that one would get more pull. All right, I've delved to how many?
I was locked in. I was locked in from the last rant, Slayer.
Oh, so you know, if there's anything to learn about Americans right now, is that whenever we have a chance to bring up 1776, there's no hesitation.
I mean, I still love the SNL skit of Washington's America, where Nate Bargatze says, you know, we will win the chance to have you in some words but not in others, like glamour.
Glamour.
Which, yeah, I said Gwen. That skit's a brilliant skit. Anyway.
What's a brilliant next play here, though, for Weibo to try and
get back into
this
one.
game, right? Yeah, let's lock back in. We see the hex play completed. Maybe it's, again, Tian looking for good picks here, as Baiye is, again, the product of another death. I think Tian's been really, really poignant about targeting this Kaisa.
Tian's been on point, man. I think Tian's assassin play has always been something he's been a little bit slept on throughout his career. I always really associate Tian at his best when he's able to drop camps and help his laners. I know that when we were talking about the BLG jungle carousel, I actually thought pretty public about thinking Tian was the best fit for that team. And a lot of that is the fact that he will drop camps to make sure that his laners are set up for success and have the hovers, but see him play the carries, the assassins, and play well has been on point. Again, good Zed tech. Just hold your spells while, you know, Kaisa has R.
Double proxy. Let's go. This is the high-octane LPL League of Legends I wanted right here.
I like how you're completely focusing on something different, just seeing if Tian can maybe take down Jung here. Zed Renekton 1v1, definitely don't want that. If Renekton's on top of you, he will eat you for breakfast.
How about a mid laner trade of ultimates? Nope, Saber doesn't have enough here. Chris also going to hover pretty comfortably. All this action on the top side is going to pull away my lovely double proxy I was getting so excited about. There's not much more of but a kerfuffle to be had around this Herald. It will be secured by Junhao. We'll look for a bit of an engage, though. Don't think Tian or Breather either targets you ever want to be ulting, so
yeah.
Ultra Prime just happy to get the Herald.
To return to your idea, Slayer, you know, what looks like a good fight now for Ultra Prime, I think one that is sooner than later. And when it comes to Weibo, they've done a pretty successful job at slowing this game down, whether it was them finding positive plays around like the grubs, I think before on that side of the river, right? The 2-for-1, still a positive for Weibo. He's given the strength of their comp right now. They're up in gold, right? So I think Ultra Prime's kind of already running out of steam here.
Saber cannot flash away when they've got flashes too.
Wow.
Tian is playing exactly into that assassin role right now, and he really has been all series long for Weibo.
I mean, him and Chris were pretty on point and locked in for that one. As the quickness and the death mark and the flashes came through pretty quickly to match Saber's flash, and the bunny cannot skip her way out of there. So, going to be tower falling, going over to Weibo. That's first brick. That's feet secured. And also a 3K gold lead.
Two items on Tian. Yeah. He's got the Black Cleaver done too, so just
Big Zed.
Extra armor shred. This is, for all the credit you deserve, Cubby, for pointing out, point-and-click stuns are there to shut down the Zed. So far, Tian has done the best job utilizing the skirmish power of the Zed. Now, he hasn't had to deal with the Maokai yet. He hasn't had to deal with the Renekton, and he's been able to garner this lead.
I mean, last time I saw Zed with the Vi and Renekton on my screen, the Vi and Renekton didn't use any of their buttons, and the Zed got to put down 2 spell rotations and get free kills, you know? That was kind of nice on the top side, but we'll see if those buttons can come down into the Zed later, because definitely potential to lock him up as Chris.
Welcome to another episode of How Does My Support Get There? Unfortunately for Ultra Prime, the episode got cut short due to budget constraints. Oh my lord.
I saw Chris got locked down by 2 roots, and that did not matter. He was able to cruise his way on out of there. Shout out to being Rakan and being able to exist as Chris slinks his way on out. Light does have that Hexplate finish. We'll have to see where he goes from here. As usually, we have the Runan's Hurricane to follow. On the standard build has been Kraken, Runan's, and then you just kind of go from there, right?
Yeah, you usually get the IE done. You just want more damage, and then it's like LDR you're picking. I will say some
earlier, yeah.
I've seen a bit more Phantom Dancers starting to come out compared to Runins. You get a little bit situation with that second item, so we'll see which one Light prefers.
That item gives a lot of stats.
I think Phantom Dancer would actually be better in this spot. Just, you know, a little bit extra movement speed as you layer those autos versus the...
I would like Hurricane. I think you're always going to be hitting more than one person. But we'll see. I don't know about the Hexblade. At the moment, do know that red buff is at least a look for Weibo. They still want to be careful about the fight they take. The pressure's not on them to do anything, and I mean, the next reset's going to be so good for them. We haven't really talked about Xiaohu in this game so far, but he's going to be sitting at that
ticking time bomb, yeah.
Evolve Seraphs in the next base. You got to believe he's got that one under his belt. So this dragon fight for Weibo, we do have another Cloud Soul that spawned. It can be a really big one for them. And this was my concern, too, for Ultra Prime. Like, why they have to get things rolling now. Look at where this Rise is in this game. How are you ever going to be able to deal with this champion, given what you have on your screen? As Ultra Prime have really stalled out for naught, and Weibo just kind of allowed to do what they want in this game and on this map.
Junhao really embodying the guy sweating profusely in front of two buttons meme right now. Because he's gonna have to ult Light or Xiaohu. Because if he doesn't take care of one of them, the other one probably ruins the fight here. Tian is once again playing towards that pixel nature, going after Saber. Flight coming across from Crisp. These two have been dueling up to find a lot of these kills, but Xiaohu's gonna spoil the party with that Nature's Grasp. Now look to re-engage Twisted Advance onto Crisp, who is very, very hard to lock down. Couple TPs come across here, but it's positioned first for Weibo, and you think, why is everyone chasing on this top side? Hold on, though. There's the engage into the Killer Instinct cross for Baiye. Good heals come across. Xiaohu is able to stay safe. Tian, though, into the backline. Gets caught by those point-and-click stuns. Shane goes down first, but Light has transcended, and he's looking to just run down Ultra Prime. Tian goes down, but it's not enough. Weibo are just in much better position, and they're going to start cashing in exponentially.
That look onto Xiaohu from Junhao was just not good enough. I mean, Chris being there, he was low, but he was able to land the counter engage. Stopped it in its track. They did get Tian just thanks to the point-and-click stun, but that was it. Everything burned into the Zed, and it's going to be everyone melting ahead. There's no ult to breathe. It doesn't matter.
He's got Flash. This has just been rinse and repeat right now. Baiye not able to farm comfortably on any of these mid-waves. Good old Shelly wants it on the party, and she will nearly ruin the mid-tier 1 turret, but even that is on Weibo's side right now. He's going to look back at that Junhao engage you were just talking about, Cubby.
And you have no Q. Chris just gets to instantly turn it, and look at everything that's burned by Ultra Prime. Just for nothing. Like, Xiaohu flashes out. That was Baiye ult used, and they overextended so hard to actually just be able to get a flash out of Xiaohu, and that was it. It gives Light a completely free fight on the back half as he transcends with a Hexplate and shreds everyone. He's got a Runans completed now and an IE on the way, as he is in a really good spot this game. And again, Weibo's comp, like Xiaohu has the double evolved scaling items now, and the Seraphs and the Roa pretty much fully stacked up. Yeah, he's got both fully stacked. So I mean, what's your play? Where's your attempt? I feel like the windows and the timers for Ultra Prime, it ran out in this game. It's running out in this series. It's running out in this season for them. As this Otacon, it really is everything that Weibo, any play they want to make, they can do. They have the time and the lead to afford it. And Ultra Prime can't afford to give away anything else.
Xiaohu has Realm Warp, so I really like him getting mid-wave in control. But Otacon actually never resets. Ultra Prime are happy to gobble this one up. Chris still gonna look for a snap engage after Saber. Does flash back out. Otacon secured by Ultra Prime as they drop between worlds. Chris very, very low. Weibo, how angry are they? They lost this Otacon. They're trying to wrap around the 4-stack as Light just beams down, but the Killer Instinct comes across, and they're able to find a trade back. Baiye, how much damage can he get down? They find the kill onto Light. Xiaohu in the middle of everybody, though, is starting to just bash on his keyboard. Combos layering over and over and over again as they just cannot shut down Breathe in this all-out form. Health bar's too high, and Xiaohu has had more than enough time to cook himself up a winning fight here. Weibo's solo lanes trying to desperately chase down to get another slow, and Xiaohu, the general, pops up in the time for Weibo and saves their desperate Otacon play. Realm Warp going to split the two remaining members of Ultra Prime, and that ends it all.
Well, I mean, they took Otacon for themselves. Like, we can't really hate on Up for that. The fact they were able to get the objective, that was a good play to get in here. Actually, you called it, Slayer. They stalled down to the Patience bar. Good reset, good take from Ultra Prime. I just think the retreat, like, even just thinking about walking up here is the mistake. I think that Aurora uses ult way too early. They could have walked out as a team. But they kind of just got stalled and stuck here, and I know that the ults come in. They are able to take down Light, but again, this was the concern about the scaling and how big the composition already was. Yeah, Tian didn't exactly connect in the combo. Didn't exactly matter. Wasn't his best fight, but Xiaohu and Breathe way too big. They were able to pretty much neutralize early on. Rise got big, and even with the Otacon being taken, it is Xiaohu that is ding 16. That's with Aroa too, so I have the bonus ability point. Almost already has a death cap on this Rise. Xiaohu is ginormous in this game. Frankly, has been kind of the player of the series for me so far, as he was really big in game 1 and 3. Okay, game 2 was a bit of a stinker, but he's making up for it on the Rise to Leah. As, this can't be enough. No way.
Redemption. He is 2 levels down. Oh, Seraph Shield and Junhao as
a teammate.
Nature's Grass, though they weren't looking for it, and actually it's a bit of a disrespect from Xiaohu. That's 1,000 gold over to Baiye. Tian gonna fall next here as he dashes towards Saber. This is starting to get a bit cautious here for Weibo. It's Light that has to try and rescue that transcendent form. Gets the kill onto Baiye, and Breathe again is just way too burly to deal with. Running down with his big bad health bar.
I mean, even a good start there, right? They took down Xiaohu immediately. Tian falls. It still is a fight in favor of Weibo in the back half of it. Just given the lead, given what Light does when he enters the fight with this hex-plated, empowered, transcendent state. And it's enough to actually TP and fight for the Baron. So there is no smite available. As Tian's still in the gray screen, I gotta believe that Xiaohu is gonna Realm Warp Tian into this.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Okay, he's going to insta-TP, and then Tian's going to walk. Breathes tanking with Light. They have it at half.
This is really audacious. You've let Breathe's health bar get really low.
They got it.
Light's down to about half HP.
It was free. Wow.
Could have been so much more illegal, but yeah, they are going to pick it up before Junhao can get here.
That was well done.
Sneak from Weibo.
I thought they'd Realm Warp in there in order to ensure they got the kill off on that timer onto the Baron. They didn't even burn the Realm Warp. You can use it to defend the wave.
Oh.
Minions still clean up the 2 HP turret. But my god, that was a good play by Weibo. I think the rotations from them there actually really sound, even with the turret falling. Now, Junhao knows that he's going to have to dig deep if they want to find a winning fight, some miracle winning angle by any chance here. So there's a control ward down, and he's done his best to really sneak his way around Weibo, but that ward was spotted, and it looks pretty fresh, so they should know that Junhao is at least in the vicinity.
Scrying Orb comes out for Light. He's trying to check some tri-brushes, and even though Junhao has evaded his captors, look at where the rest of his team is. They can't really cash this in. How long is Junhao going to commit to this flank? Because it is a very scary walk back, as you mentioned. This jungle is now as dark as it is for him as it is for Weibo.
I mean, if he leaves, he gets spotted by the double control wards, so I mean, it might be better for him to either hit B or at least get an AFK warning. Like, how committed are we to this?
Just had the Pink Panthers theme song playing in my
head. Oh
yeah,
you don't have to explain that one to me. He's snuck in between the waves though. He's still not spotted.
Oh.
I mean, we're going from
the theme song going.
It's going from Pink Panther to 007 status here if it works out. Let's be honest.
I'm trying to remember all these theme songs now that I can try to do. I think I went for the wrong spy genre. But hello, Covert Agent, Sleeper on the back line. There we go. They get Light again. Good flash though over Saber's damage, and the Arc of Ruin decimates Ultra Prime. The Flank of Dreams just falls flat for the moment. Hold on, they do get Light, but yeah, again, it's just the rest of Weibo are much stronger as a group, and they cut down the spy mission from Junhao.
Yep. Everything burned for Light. No Light, though, at the end of the tunnel for Ultra Prime as they lose 4 on their path to get 1. Only the support up, and Ultra Prime's year looks like it's coming to an end. As for Ultra Prime, I mean, the fact that they made it to the play-in stage was, I'd say, a win for them. Hard to find a win today against Weibo. As this series, I think, in a way, Slayer, I know that we have a lot of chaos in the LPL, but this series went as we expected. It couldn't have gone more to expectation than what we expected, frankly. In a way.
There's more time to talk about here, Cubby.
Even the fact that this game doesn't end right now, just given that Weibo is on my screen, in a way, is still expected, even if that was unexpected as someone setting up for the end of the game.
I need Spark Notes on whatever Cubby just said. Does anyone have that?
I mean, Spark Notes would be more accurate than ChatGPT in that scenario, but everything burned here to pick up Light. The Transcendent Slow, I mean, that's a beam there. That's almost hitting like a final spark from Lux. As Light, he does go down to the Croc in the end. Breathe couldn't get there in time to peel him off, but it still was a 4-for-1, and that's A-okay.
I think that I'm glad that you tried to bring us out on that ultra prime high note, right? This team has had a lot of roster swapping around, especially in the bot side. And for the first time in Split 3, the biggest split of the year, they can say,
yeah,
we did not end our season in the Rumble stage.
I thought Zhang showed up this split. I know it wasn't, you know, his series today, but I thought he really showed up. And like as a player, I'm actually excited to see in the LPL moving forward. Really hope that guy is either with Ultra Prime or finds maybe a seat on a better team. Was deserved from him at times.
Him and Junhao in the series, I think, did show some of that pizzazz that they brought to this team.
I wouldn't talk about anything. I mean, I know that Junhao is really digging deep to find a win. Uh-oh, he's spotted.
Okay, but at this point, he's just stalling.
Yeah, Vi from Arcane's trying to be like Echo from Arcane right now and hide in the underworld. Also known as the topside jungle of Weibo.
Zon is looking a lot cleaner than I remember it being.
That's Cloud Soul and Gentrification will do that to you, you know?
I guess so. What is this? Oh, okay, Junhao, he's just not about flanks anymore. He's just diving back to the same thing. It's Light again, but where's my team, bro? Nobody follows him. He just dies. And so does Saber. And so does the season for Ultra Prime as the Realm Warp comes right on top of Baiye's head. And he will be the only one to survive. Nope, not even him to tell the tale. Weibo were just waiting to do it with a nice little bow on top. Their first ace of the game as they will 3-0 Ultra Prime. And as weird as it sounds to say, folks, our third series of the play-ins finally gives us our first Group Ascend team out of the play-ins into the playoffs. It will be Weibo Gaming in 3-0 fashion.
Yeah, shout out to Weibo Gaming for making sure that we don't break the LPL unofficial English broadcast bank with our time-and-a-half rate for Labor Day.
Dang it!
Yeah, Weibo went to work on the Rift to make sure we didn't have to go to work too much up here in the caster booth in Ultra Prime. Last time we get to see that royal purple on stage. Always looks damn good in any esports arena, Slayer. Unfortunately, not as good for Ultra Prime today as they got baptized a bit by the Weebs. And we'll see more of the Weebs in the double elimination bracket.
Like we talked about towards the end of that Game 3, will be intriguing to follow Ultra Prime as they move into the new calendar year.
Yeah, I want to see more Zhang. I do.
Yeah.
I thought that Junhao, again, should be an LPL player moving forward.
I think he earned his... I hope that at the very minimum, Zhang and Junhao, if they want it, have earned their spots back on Ultra Prime in 2026. That is at the minimum that I hope. The ceiling, though, like you talked about for Zhang, I mean...
I like Zhang. I thought that Zhang was a decent top laner.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that today didn't go the way that he wanted to, but I don't think that he was incredibly outclassed by Breathe. And in fact, I don't think that... Yeah, we can't individually talk about... So I'm going into a bad rabbit hole here. I don't know why I'm wasting time on this. It was a good split for Zhang, but hey. For Weibo, you know, we did kind of come in talking today, Slayer. Did we see enough good things out of Weibo to really hope they can take that to the rest of group?
Where's the meter at? Where are we at now, right? We were at 6 out of 10. Do we move at all? Or?
I don't know if it really changed in that one, just because Ultra Prime are clearly just not the same team that Weibo are, right? So I don't really feel like Weibo were ever super challenged in this series outside of maybe 1 or 2 bad Drake fights in the second game, and that was about it. And I don't think they could have really ever won those fights in the first place. So
right.
I don't know. I think if anything, we're happy that Xiaohu had a nice series. I think that's good for Weibo fans. And Light was solid. We were asking for the bot lane to step up. I think they'll need to if they want to make a run in this bracket. Again, I don't think they're up against the toughest bot lane today. So I don't know how much they stepped up, but we can be happy that Xiaohu and Weibo at least showed some good decision-making when they were behind in Game 2. That's a positive, and Xiaohu got ahead in Games 1 and 3 playing the facilitators. That's when he's at his best, so I think that's good for Weibo too, but it's Ultra Prime in the end, you know?
Yeah. So let's look forward here. I want to start theory crafting a bit. Producer Adam, if we could, ever quick, you could throw up the playoff bracket. I know it is very blank, but I want to use it to kind of talk about what the playoffs are going to start to look like a bit more here, Cubby, because the fun part about how the actual playoff starts is you can see all these TBAs and these question marks, right?
They pick.
That's because they get to pick. And now that we've had 2 Group Nirvana teams come through and upset Group Ascend teams, how much are Weibo happy about that, knowing that, I mean, face value, right? You'd expect them to be picked 3rd, if potentially even 4th, right?
Well, yeah, they are the 5th seed. So you would expect them to be up against AL, especially with what EDG and NIP making it through. I don't think that we're choosing to face Weibo over either of those 2 teams.
I would not think so either.
So yeah, I mean, if LGD pulls off a miracle tomorrow, we'll see. But I think that we're going to have Weibo against AL in that first round, which, look, might be interesting. Like, AL is a team that I think a lot of LPL fans are just hoping show up for playoffs, like when it is time to push the shove and be that team that did win Split 2, that was in the Split 1 finals. But yeah, I mean, we have given AL some grace just given what they've accomplished throughout the season, and they have not been that same team so far in the regular season. So we'll see if Weibo can maybe have a surprise. Again, I think the biggest positive for them is that it was a really nice series from Xiaohu. And Shanks, for me, has struggled to split on AL, so maybe that's a positive. But yeah, this series wasn't close. This was
no.
What happens when, you know, the quote that I like to use a lot in Sports Slayer, and I feel like it very much applied today, and that is, form is temporary, but class is forever. And they got outclassed today over there in Ultra Prime. I fear that Weibo outclassed them.
Yeah, that is the layman's terms way to put it. But again, for Weibo now, securing top 8, if they can find themselves a series win here, it doesn't have to be against, you know, maybe the proverbial AL we're assigning them to right now for the playoffs. It can be in the lower bracket. But if you can grab, you know, a 5th, 6th place spot, you're very likely in that regional qualifier. And I just really, again, want to punch home further for newer LPL fans. Weibo in the regional qualifier for Worlds historically is a different beast, no matter what their Split 3, no matter what their year looked like on the calendar.
It likens to the power that Cloud9 had with the regional gauntlet over here in NA and finding that 3 seed. It really does. Yep. When looking at the history of Weibo, Xiaohu being a part of that too.
Every time.
Keep in mind that 2023 squad, that was a gauntlet team that ended up making it to World Finals. Shout out to the bracket draw, that might have helped a little bit there too. But yeah, Weibo, again, this is a team where it hasn't looked like they're going to make it to Worlds with what we've seen from the LPL regular season. They are the 5 seed. They would be sitting outside of the Worlds picture if we take our top 4 Ascension teams. But this is a team, you look at the names, they liken to international competition and history. So Weibo going to look to continue to change the tide in their favor throughout these playoffs, and we'll see if they can do so. As it's going to be, I think, a challenging series against AL, who have really proven a lot of strategic diversity and best of 5s that a lot of our LPL teams have actually struggled to meet. So we'll see if Weibo can dig deep and make sure that AL they can at least challenge them and make that a long series.
We'll have to see. It's exciting that it's so close around the corner, but right in front of us now, Cubby, does the Spring Tiger, does the General get your player of the game here to end this series?
I mean, it was very much deserved in Game 1. We'll see in Game 3. I think that it's a little bit more contested this time around, but okay, still going to go.
No, it is not.
It's the bald man of Destiny in the Rise and our Spring Tiger and Xiaohu, who has really showed up in a lot of summers. I will say, I don't know what else we have on the show before we wrap up, Slayer, but would be a decent idea to maybe flash that championship points graphic that we have.
Sure.
While we are talking about. Because I think it is important. We don't have it updated since, of course, the series was just played.
Yes.
But when we flew this at the start of the day, we did say that Team WE, they're out of the race to actually make it into that regional gauntlet. Because you can see, given the split 3 points being bigger, a little bit more to give. Team WE, they don't find themselves in getting enough points in split 3 to continue. Said Weibo, they're still in the mix. And with a win today, they do guarantee themselves some more points. So they actually move up the chain a little bit. Yeah, at least guaranteed 35 total. So again, if JDG, if they lose tomorrow, it would be really big for Weibo in terms of securing that regional gauntlet slot, which you will need to secure You can see the winner of this split auto qualifies for Worlds, and then we have to get into some of those World qualifiers because nothing else is guaranteed. And
so
man,
if you're in the grand finals,
the winner in the top two, yeah.
So yeah, Weibo. That's also why I feel like it's unfortunate that AL are a lower seeded team with how their split 3 has been, because now we're picturing Weibo match up against them.
Yeah.
But what's really important here, even if Weibo get knocked down a lower bracket, they are very much likely to be playing an NIP or an EDG, and those are, outside of JDG, the direct threats to knock them out of Worlds qualifiers. So
that's interesting, actually.
Yeah. So if they win a series against NIP or EDG, lock themselves 5th, 6th, by winning that first lower bracket series, Weibo will secure themselves another Worlds qualifiers.
My head's there. My head's also in terms of like drafting the teams, right? Because we pick with the first 4 seeds.
So by the way,
those picks could actually really matter in terms of how that lower bracket could potentially look in finding one of those matchups too, Slayers. So when that bracket draw does happen I believe after our series tomorrow, that's going to have to be something that we keep tabs on because that could be, it's going to have a lot of ramifications for that end of the year gauntlet if we do end up getting one of those matchups in these playoffs.
So much fun theory crafting, but the best part, again, all of this stuff is right around the corner. We only have one more play-in series